Hi, welcome to week 41 of Foundation 52. This week, we're talking about decision impacts. There's 3 videos coming your way. The first video is on decision impacts in sales. The second one is on decision impacts in your products and or services. And the fourth one is decision impacts in finance. All right, you're probably going, what are decision impacts, right? Yeah, great question. Let's start with that. Decision impacts are really it's a fancy way of saying that you need to consider everything that's impacted with decisions that you make inside of your business. Don't we seem less fancy now? Yeah. Um, when you are thinking about decision impacts, really what you want to do is think about, if I make this decision, if we move forward with this, how does it impact the other areas of my business? It's really just a process by which you either decide to move forward with or eliminate the possibility of some decisions that you may or may not make, right? So it's understanding fully how your business operates from beginning to end and what happens with decisions that you make inside of each functional area. So it's it's something that's really important to pay attention to, because we live in a world of unintended consequences, and unintended consequences occur as a result of not really being fully aware of everything that could happen as the result of a decision, right? So it's just really essentially not thinking through decisions that you're making or that you might be making. Okay, now let's talk about decision impacts with respect to sales, okay? So when you think about decision impacts, what you want to think about with respect to sales um, is my pipeline impacted? Will my pipeline be impacted? Am I still going to be able to grow a pipeline? Um, will the price or the cost be impacted? Am I going to lose customers over this particular decision? Will I be able to continue to grow sales and grow my revenue? Will I be able to close deals? Am I going to get customers who are going to come back and say they want a refund, or they want their money back, or they want to cancel their order as a result of a decision that's being made? And the biggest one that you really want to consider is pipeline, because pipeline is so important to your sales growth, right? You want to make sure that you're consistently working with a full pipeline, or at least an active pipeline, where you're moving people in and out of it as they move through your sales cycle. So if you think about um, the impact that your sales pipeline has on your business, right? If your sales pipeline kind of dries up and you don't have anybody in it, that means you're going to, at some point in the very near future, have an impact on revenue, because you're not closing deals. If there's nobody in the pipeline to close a deal with, then you've probably got no revenue coming in the door. And that has a very big impact on your business, one that I'm sure that we don't have to explain to you. So you want to think about, how are you managing your sales pipeline? How are you getting people into the pipeline? How are you keeping them warm? How are you advancing them to the next stages? How are you nurturing them? And any decisions that you're making in your business, if you decide to automate a step in a process, right? So you want to automate emails to customers so that you have very little human intervention. Well, what are some of the impacts that could occur as a result of making that decision? Is it possible that you could upset customers who really prefer a non-scripted approach to their engagement with you, and now they're looking at these really scripted emails that are coming out that aren't doing anything for them? They're not adding value. They're not moving them through the pipeline, and you're just continuing to send these scripted emails out. Is it possible that you set up a process that actually doesn't work, and not all of your customers are getting emails from the nurture campaign, or that they're not getting them on the timeline that they should be receiving them? So maybe they're coming out early, or they're coming out too late. And so they're actually ending up frustrating people in your pipeline. What happens if you build the pipeline too slowly or too quickly, right? So if I'm responsible for our pipeline at SB Pace, which I am, and if I am building it too slowly, where I'm not getting enough people in there. I'm not doing enough of the prospecting work. I'm not making enough phone calls. I'm not reaching out to enough people. I'm not sending enough emails. I'm not doing the things I need to do to build a pipeline. What are the downstream impacts of that? But the decisions that I make to not focus on building the pipeline, what does that mean for our business future state? It means bad things, right? if I'm the only person who sells and I don't have a pipeline to sell from, and I'm responsible for building the pipeline, that's problematic. So you need to think about if these are as basic as thinking about how you spend your day, right? So if you've got 40 hours in a week, and let's be real, entrepreneurs work more than 40 hours, but let's just say 40 hours in a week, and you need to dedicate time every single day to building your pipeline or working on prospecting or getting some sales work done where you're nurturing somebody. Okay. Let's say that I decide it's 4 hours a day. So 20 hours of my week has to be put towards building a pipeline and nurturing prospects for sales. And then I decide on Monday, I'm going to do it tomorrow. And then Tuesday rolls around and I'm like, I'm not going to do 4 hours today either. Well, now I'm 8 hours behind and I've only got 24 hours left in the week. So you really need to think about how you spend your time, the decisions you make on what you're going to work on and what that impacts for the rest of your week, because you've got to keep things moving. So looking at your decisions from a more strategic perspective and thinking about the impacts of every decision you make and what it means for what you are or aren't going to be able to get done is a really good way to help you decide where to spend your time or what to focus on or what decisions to make. Another piece is having processes in place, right? So if you are a newer business, a lot of small businesses don't have processes in place. They don't really think about it. You just kind of create these habits for how you're going to do things, right? And you're like, well, I know that I need to send cold emails and I've got this program that will generate emails for me, give me an email list, and I just send to those emails. Well, what's your process for following up? What's your process for moving them from a cold email to a warm lead? What's your process for nurturing them once they become a warm lead? And the decisions that you make around that all will move towards having more sales in your company. That's the importance of decision impacts with respect to sales. And you also want to think about opportunity costs, right? So if you don't do something, what are you missing out on? What opportunity are you losing on? And what is the cost of that? Okay. I feel like I've preached a lot in this particular section and I've got 2 more videos to go. So probably going to be doing a little bit more preaching. This is all centers around processes, understanding how your business functions, understanding the impact of the decisions that you make and what it does for your business or doesn't do for your business, and what you're losing out on because you're not doing something that you should be doing. We've got some downloads available this week, and hopefully come back, watch the next video in the series, which is on decision impacts with respect to your products and or services. And let's see what we can learn in that section. Look forward to talking to you.